Chapter 1. The Quiet Child. Everyone knows the name. Elon Musk. We see the electric cars. We see the giant rockets landing on ships. We see a man who is very rich and very powerful. But I want to take you back in time. I want to take you to a place called South Africa. The year is 1980. Imagine a small boy. He is not loud. He is not strong. He is very, very quiet. His name is Elon. Elon was different from other children. While other boys played sports, Elon read books. He loved books. Books were his best friends. He read for 5 hours a day. Sometimes 10 hours a day. He read about space. He read about robots. He read about heroes. To read is a verb. In the past tense, we write it the same way, read. But we say it differently. We say read, like the color. He read books. Let's repeat that together. He read books. But school was not a happy place for Elon. The other children thought he was strange. They did not like him. They were mean to him. This is called bullying. One day, some boys waited for him. They pushed him down the stairs. They hit him. He had to go to the hospital. He was hurt. But his heart was hurt more. He felt alone. Have you ever felt alone? Have you ever felt different? Elon did. But he had a secret power. His secret power was imagination. When the world was sad, he closed his eyes. He imagined a future that was bright. He imagined flying to other planets. He imagined a world where technology helped people. Chapter 2. The First Failure. Elon grew up. He moved to Canada, and then to America. He wanted to build companies. He was very smart. He worked very hard. He started a company called PayPal. You might know PayPal. It helps people send money on the internet. Elon was the boss. He was the CEO. He felt successful. But then, something bad happened. He went on a vacation. While he was on the airplane, the other people in the company had a meeting. They decided they did not want Elon to be the boss anymore. They fired him. Can you imagine? You start a company. It is your baby. And then, you are pushed out. Elon was shocked. He was sad. But remember, failure is not the end. Elon took his money and he made a crazy decision. He decided to start a rocket company. He called it SpaceX. People laughed at him. They said, Elon, you are an internet guy. You do not know about rockets. They said, rockets are too expensive. You will lose all your money. But Elon did not listen. He believed in his dream. English practice moment. The word is belief. Belief is a noun. It means the feeling that something is true. The verb is believe. He believed in his dream. Say it with me, softly. He believed in his dream. Chapter 3. The Three Explosions. It was the year 2006. Elon and his small team built a rocket. It was called the Falcon 1. It was a small rocket. They took it to a tiny island in the ocean. They were ready. They counted down. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The rocket went up into the sky. Elon watched. His heart beat fast. But then, boom! Fire in the sky. The rocket exploded. It fell into the ocean. Elon lost millions of dollars. But he said, it is okay. We will try again. 1 year later, in 2007, they tried again. Rocket number 2. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The rocket went up. It looked good. But then, it started to spin. It spun out of control. And, boom, it crashed. Now, people were really laughing. They said, "See? We told you. It is impossible." Elon was losing money fast. He had enough money for 2 more rockets. Or maybe just 1. The year was 2008. This was a very hard year for the world. And it was a very hard year for Elon. His wife divorced him. He was losing his other company, Tesla. He was very stressed. He woke up screaming in the night. But he had to try one more time. Rocket number 3. This was the most important moment. His engineers worked day and night. They were tired. But they believed in Elon. The day came. The rocket launched. It went up high. Everyone cheered. But then, a small mistake happened. The 2 parts of the rocket bumped into each other. And, the rocket failed. It did not reach space. Chapter 4. The Last Chance. This is the part of the story that most people do not know. After the 3rd failure, Elon was broken. He had no more money. He had to borrow money from friends to pay for his house. He had to borrow money to buy food. He gathered his team of engineers. They were crying. They were tired. They wanted to give up. Elon stood in front of them. He looked at them. He said, "I will never give up. I mean it. Never." He scraped together the last of his money. He had parts for 1 more rocket. Just 1. If this rocket failed, SpaceX would die. Tesla would die. Elon would be bankrupt. What would you do? Would you stop? Would you save your money? It is scary to risk everything. It was September 28, 2008. The 4th rocket stood on the launch pad. The sky was blue. The wind was quiet. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The rocket rose on a tail of fire. It went up, past the clouds. It went up, past the blue sky. It went up, into the black darkness of space. Elon waited. 1 minute passed. 2 minutes passed. Wait. It did not explode. It kept going. And then, the signal came. Orbit achieved. They did it. The 4th rocket worked. The room exploded with cheers. People were crying happy tears. Elon Musk, the boy who was bullied, the man who was fired, the man who failed 3 times. He had touched the stars. Chapter 5. What we learn. Today, SpaceX sends rockets to space every week. They land the rockets back on Earth. It looks easy. But it was not easy. It was almost impossible. What can we learn from Elon? We learn that failure is painful. It hurts. It costs money. It makes us cry. But failure is also a teacher. Every time the rocket exploded, Elon learned something new. He fixed the problem. He made the rocket better. If he had stopped after the 3rd failure, we would not know his name today. But he tried one more time. In English, we have a phrase, to get back up. It means to stand up after you fall. Life will push you down. English grammar will push you down. Hard words will push you down. But you must get back up. Like Elon. Like the little rocket that could. Let's practice 3 sentences before we rest. Repeat after me gently. Failure is a lesson. I will try one more time. I am strong enough. Very good. You are doing a wonderful job. Your English is getting better, step by step. Now, take a sip of water. Adjust your pillow. Because we have another story to tell. A story about a woman. A woman who was poor. A woman who sat on a train and had a magical idea. Are you ready for her story? How are you feeling? Are your shoulders relaxed? Is your mind quiet? We have just learned about Elon Musk. We learned that rockets can explode, but dreams do not have to die. Now, we will travel to a different place. We will travel to England. We will talk about a woman named Joanne. You know her as J.K. Rowling. She is one of the richest women in the world. She wrote books that children love. She wrote books that adults love. But her story is not a fairy tale. Her story is full of shadows. Story 2. The Writer on the Train, J.K. Rowling. Chapter 1. The Delayed Train. The year was 1990. Imagine a train. It is traveling from Manchester to London. The train is old. It is crowded. It is full of people. Sitting by the window is a young woman. She is 25 years old. She looks out the window at the green fields. Suddenly, the train stops. There is a problem with the engine. The train is delayed for 4 hours. Delayed. This is a good travel word. It means late. The train was delayed. Joanne sat there. She had no pen. She had no paper. She was bored. But then, something magical happened. Into her mind came a picture. She saw a boy. A skinny boy. A boy with black hair and round glasses. And she knew he was a wizard. She could not write it down. So she sat for 4 hours and imagined the story. She imagined the castle. She imagined the ghosts. She imagined the magic. She was so excited. Sometimes, being bored is good. When we are bored, our brains are free to dream. Chapter 2. The Dark Years. Joanne arrived in London. She started to write the book. She thought it would be easy. But life had a different plan. A few months later, her mother died. Joanne was heartbroken. She missed her mother very much. She took her pain and she put it into the book. In the Harry Potter books, the boy loses his parents. That sadness is real. It is Joanne's sadness. She moved to another country, Portugal. She got married. She had a beautiful baby daughter. She thought, finally, I am happy. But the happiness did not last. The marriage was bad. It was a very difficult time. She had to run away. She moved back to the UK, to a city called Edinburgh. It was cold. It was grey. And now, Joanne had nothing. Let's look at her situation. She had no job. She had no money. She had a small baby to take care of. She lived in a very small apartment filled with mice. She felt like a total failure. She looked at her life and she cried. She thought, I am 30 years old. I have failed at everything. She fell into a deep sadness. Doctors call this depression. It felt like the happiness had gone out of the world. Have you ever felt this? Like the color has gone from your life. It is a heavy feeling. But Joanne had one thing. She had an old typewriter. And she had her story. Chapter 3. The Cafe Office. Joanne did not want to stay in her cold apartment. So, she put her baby in a stroller. She walked through the streets of Edinburgh. She walked until the baby fell asleep. Then, she ran to a cafe. She ordered 1 cup of coffee. She could not afford food. Just 1 coffee. And she wrote. She wrote while the baby slept. She wrote about magic. She wrote about friendship. She wrote about bravery. Vocabulary moment. The word is escape. To escape means to get away. To leave a bad place. Writing was her escape. When she wrote, she was not a poor single mother. She was a creator of worlds. She wrote, and wrote, and wrote, for 5 years. Finally, she had a big stack of papers. The book was finished. She typed it out on her old typewriter. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. She felt proud. She thought, now my life will change. But the hard part was not over. Chapter 4. The 12 No's. Joanne needed a publisher. A publisher is a company that turns a story into a book. She made copies of her first 3 chapters. She put them in a nice folder. She sent them to a publisher. She waited and waited. A letter came back. She opened it quickly. It said, "No, they did not want the book. They said it was too long. They said children would not like it." 1 no hurts. But Joanne sent it to another publisher. They said no, and another, no, and another, no, 12 times. 12 different companies read Harry Potter, and 12 times they threw it in the trash. Imagine that. The most famous book in the world was in the trash. Joanne felt hopeless. She had no money for stamps to send more letters. But she tried one last time. Number 13. A small publisher called Bloomsbury. The boss at Bloomsbury gave the story to his daughter. Her name was Alice. She was 8 years old. Alice read the first chapter. She ran to her father. She said, "Dad, this is so good. I want the next chapter." Because of that little girl. The father said, "Yes." He paid Joanne a very small amount of money. He told her, "You will never make money from children's books. Get a day job." He was wrong. He was very, very wrong. Chapter 5. The Solid Foundation. Today, J.K. Rowling is a billionaire, but she always remembers the hard days. She gave a famous speech at a university. She spoke about the benefits of failure. She said a beautiful sentence. Listen carefully. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. Let's understand this sentence. Rock bottom means the lowest point. When you have nothing. Foundation means the strong stone under a house. She meant that when she lost everything, she found herself. She realized she was strong. She realized she had a daughter who she loved. She realized she had a talent. The fear of failure disappeared, because she had already failed, and she was still alive. This is a powerful lesson for us learning English. Are you afraid to speak? Are you afraid to make a grammar mistake? Are you afraid someone will not understand you? Do not worry. Making a mistake is not the end. It is the foundation. Every mistake is a stone. You build your English house stone by stone, mistake by mistake. Let's practice 3 sentences inspired by Joanne. Repeat after me gently. I am writing my own story. I will not stop after a no. My words are important. Wonderful. You are listening so well. Your ears are getting stronger. Your brain is relaxing into the English language. We have one more story tonight. It is the story of an older man, a man with white hair and a white suit. You have seen his face on buckets of chicken. But do you know how many times he failed? Do you know he was almost retired before he started? Let's take a moment to stretch. Roll your neck slowly. Let go of any tension. Are you ready for the final story? The story of Colonel Sanders. You are doing wonderful work. To listen in English for 30 minutes is a big achievement. Your brain is working hard, even if you feel relaxed. We have learned about the young boy, Elon. We have learned about the young mother, Joanne. Now, I want to tell you about someone different. I want to tell you about an old man. Do you think you are too old to learn English? Do you think it is too late for me? Please listen to this story. It will change your mind. Story 3. The Man Who Never Gave Up, Colonel Sanders, Chapter 1. A Lifetime of Mistakes. His name was Harlan Sanders. You know him as Colonel Sanders. He is the man on the KFC bucket. He looks happy, doesn't he? He has a white suit. He has a smile. But for 60 years, his life was a disaster. Let's look at his resume. When he was young, he worked on a steamboat. He lost that job. He worked on a railroad. He lost that job too. He tried to be a lawyer, but he got into a fight in the courtroom with his own client. He was fired again. He tried to sell insurance. Failed. He tried to sell tires. Failed. He tried to sell lamps. Failed. By the time he was 40 years old, he had nothing. Most people succeed in their 30s or 40s. But Harlan was still failing. He finally started a small restaurant. It was a service station for cars. He sold food to the drivers. He made fried chicken. People liked the chicken. He thought, finally, I am successful. But life is full of surprises. A new highway was built. The cars stopped coming to his restaurant. He lost his customers. He went bankrupt. Bankrupt. This is a scary word. It means you have zero money. Harlan was now 65 years old. Chapter 2. The Old Man and the Car. Imagine being 65. Most people retire at 65. They stop working. They play with their grandchildren. They sit in the garden. Harlan looked at his bank account. He had $105. That was his government check. He was angry. He said, I am not finished. I am not dead yet. He had one thing left. He had a recipe. A recipe is a list of instructions for cooking. He had a special recipe for fried chicken. It used 11 herbs and spices. So, he made a plan. He did not have money to open a new restaurant, so he decided to sell the recipe to other restaurants. He put his pressure cooker in his car. He put bags of flour and spices in his car. He started to drive. He drove across the United States. He was 65 years old. He did not have money for hotels, so he slept in the back of his car. He shaved his face in the mirrors of public bathrooms. He ate his own chicken for dinner. Chapter 3. The 1009 No's. He walked into a restaurant. He asked to speak to the owner. He said, "I have the best chicken recipe in the world. If you use it, I will take a small payment for every piece you sell." The owners looked at him. They saw an old man in a strange white suit. They laughed. They said, "No, our chicken is fine. Go away." Do you remember J.K. Rowling? She heard "no" 12 times. Harlan Sanders heard "no" 1009 times. 1000 times. Can you imagine the pain? Walking into a restaurant, hoping, smiling, and being rejected. Walking back to the car. Sleeping in the cold car. Driving to the next town. Why didn't he stop? Why didn't he go home? Because he believed in his chicken, and more importantly, he believed in himself. Vocabulary moment. The word is reject. To reject means to say no. They rejected his idea, but he did not reject himself. Chapter 4. The One Yes. Finally, he went to a restaurant in Utah. He met a man named Pete. Pete tasted the chicken. Pete smiled. Pete said, "This is delicious. Let's do it." That was the first yes. After that, everything changed. People loved the chicken. More restaurants wanted the recipe. Suddenly, the old man sleeping in his car became a millionaire. At age 75, he sold his company for millions of dollars. He became famous all over the world. His face is now in Japan, in China, in Brazil, in France. The man who failed for 60 years is now a legend. Chapter 5. What we learn. My friend, how old are you? Are you 20, 30, 50, 70? Sometimes students tell me, "I am 50. My brain is too old for English. I am 60. I cannot learn new words." I want you to think of Colonel Sanders. He started his biggest journey at 65. He slept in a car. He worked harder than a young man. Age is just a number. Your brain is strong. Your spirit is strong. It is only too late if you quit. If you keep driving, if you keep knocking on doors, you can succeed. Let's practice 3 sentences inspired by the Colonel. Repeat after me softly. It is never too late. I am young at heart. I will keep knocking on the door. Very, very good. You have listened to 3 big stories tonight. 3 lives. 3 failures. 3 great successes. Now, It is time to rest. We have done the hard work. Now we will cool down. We will review the special words we learned, and then we will drift into sleep. Are you ready for the final part? Are you ready to close your eyes completely? My friend, we have been on a long journey tonight. We traveled to South Africa with a lonely boy. We traveled to a train in England with a young mother. We traveled across America with an old man and his car. And we traveled to Hollywood with an artist who lost his rabbit. They all taught us one thing. They taught us that the road is not straight. The road to success is full of bumps. It is full of holes. But if you keep walking, you will arrive. Now, let's slow down. Let's tell your brain that the hard work is done. You do not need to memorize the stories anymore. Now, we will just collect the treasures. The treasures are the special English words we found. The Great Vocabulary Review. I will say the word. I will say the meaning. And then I will say a sentence about you. Listen. Breathe. Repeat silently. Word 1. Resilience. This means the power to return to shape. Like a sponge. You squeeze it, but it comes back. Sentence. I am resilient. I always come back. Word 2. Obstacle. This means something that blocks your way. A big rock in the road is an obstacle, but you can climb over it. Sentence. An obstacle is just a challenge. Word 3. Foundation. This means the strong bottom of a house. J.K. Rowling hit the bottom, but it became her foundation. Sentence. My mistakes are my foundation. Word 4. Rejection. This means when someone says no. Colonel Sanders heard no 1009 times. But no does not mean stop. It means not yet. Sentence. I am not afraid of the word no. Word 5. Vision. This means seeing the future in your mind. Elon Musk had a vision of rockets. Walt Disney had a vision of a mouse. Sentence. I have a vision for my life. Word 6. Journey. This means the long trip. Learning English is not a race. It is a journey. Sentence. I am enjoying my journey. The body scan. Relaxation. Now. Forget the words. Forget the grammar. Just feel your body. You are safe. You are warm. We are going to turn off the lights in your body, one by one. Focus on your toes. Are they tight? Wiggle them. Now. Let them sleep. Good night, toes. Focus on your legs. They carried you all day. They are tired. Let them be heavy, like stone. Good night, legs. Focus on your stomach. Let it be soft. Breathe into your stomach. Good night, stomach. Focus on your hands. Your hands work so hard. Open them. Let the fingers curl. They have nothing to hold now. Good night, hands. Focus on your shoulders. Drop them down, away from your ears. Drop the heavy bag you are carrying. You do not need it tonight. Good night, shoulders. Focus on your face. Unclench your jaw. Relax your tongue. Smooth your forehead. Let your eyes sink back. Good night, face. Deep sleep affirmations. Now, your mind is open. Your mind is a quiet garden. I will plant some seeds in your garden. These are positive English seeds. They will grow while you sleep. Listen to my voice. I am enough. I am learning at my own speed. I do not compare myself to others. My voice is worthy of being heard. I am brave enough to make mistakes. Every day, I get a little stronger. I am patient with myself. English is becoming my friend. I understand more than I know. I release my fear. I welcome my success. The final visualization. Imagine a library. It is an old, beautiful library. There is a fireplace with a warm fire. There is a big, soft chair. You sit in the chair. On the table, there is a book. The book has your name on the cover. It is the story of your life. You open the book to a blank page. You pick up a pen, and you write one word. Believe. You close the book. You smile. The fire is warm. The room is quiet. You are safe. Sleep now. Drift away. Dream of rockets. Dream of magic. Dream of speaking freely. Good night, my friend. Good night. Good night.